and welcome to episode 116 of the Crochet Cakes podcast, stories of a scatterbrained crocheter, because I don't know about you, but I'm finding it very difficult to concentrate on anything. So today we're going to talk about the Yavanna Vest and some other cheeky little makes, and of course books that I've read. Hello, how are you doing? I hope that you are doing as well as can be expected under the circumstances. I will be very honest and right off the bat say that I haven't been able to concentrate on anything. Yeah, I do mean anything. Work has been like trudging through mud. I just honestly keep finding things that I need to do, and I've been feeling very overwhelmed by that lately. And not to mention, the fact that there is a war in the Ukraine, that I think a lot of us have just been feeling just a general sense of overwhelm and probably guilt for living our lives the way we are, when we know there's so many other people that are just finding it very difficult right now to just live. But along with that, I have been trying to live each day in gratitude and allow myself to feel all the things. And crochet has helped me cope with that. And as such, I decided it was the 2-week mark and I had to sit down and share all these feelings and these crafty endeavors with you. So I hope that while I cannot delete all the ugly that there is in the world, that this video does provide a little ray of sunshine in your day. And if you've faced or weathered storms, I hope that you've gotten out to the other side okay. And I hope that wherever you've been able to, you've taken an opportunity to just be and allow yourself to process all the feelings that you and us and the world are probably feeling. So with that, welcome to another podcast episode. As I mentioned in the beginning, this one is all about the Yavanna Crochet Vest, because in the previous podcast, I talked about the Subaru sweater and I briefly kind of mentioned the Yavanna Crochet Vest, but I couldn't find it. Well, I found it. And as you saw at the very beginning of this video, I am wearing it. So that is the crochet chat we've got to look forward to. We also have some other crafty tidbits that I would like to talk to you about. And before we begin with all of that, I want to say another huge thank you to everyone who participated in the Trust Cal. I've written up a draft of the pattern and I will be sending that out to the people that participated in the Trust Cal, so that they can see the pattern written up, and if they have any ideas they can add those ideas, because if you remember, the point of this Trust Cal was for us to design a shawl together. And I have some of your emails, but some of your emails I do not have, so if you could get in touch with me via my website, that would be great. Also, I want to thank I don't want to say your name in case I forgot to ask permission, but I want to thank my first ever Ko-fi sponsor. Thank you so much to a lovely lady that actually donated money to my Ko-fi account. It means the world. I was really excited to see that, and thank you so much for your message and for your encouragement and just for always participating in the Crochet Cakes community. Okay, so with that, I have one more question I need to answer, and that was in the previous podcast episode. I talked a little bit about the paper crafting that I'm doing, and somebody asked if I was going to be sending that out, use those envelopes, to send postcards or just messages out in the world. And my answer is no, because, well, okay, so it's not like a no, but it's essentially that these envelopes are so covered up and they're so busy that I think the mail would get lost. However, if I were to include such a pretty envelope inside a normal plain envelope, I think I could probably get away with it. But that is something for future Clarissa to worry about. Probably as I continue to decorate envelopes just to de-stress and relax, I might actually just have to start using them to send mail. But like I said, they'll have to be sent as like a little, it's gonna have to be like those nesting dolls, an envelope within an envelope within an envelope. Okay, I'm gonna need to grab a hair tie and put my hair up, because if not, I'm gonna be the whole podcast just going. I'll be right back. Okay, now I feel more me, and I'm just ready to tackle all the crochet conversations about the Yavanna Vest. So I was actually not, I actually felt way too scatterbrained to podcast or sit down and have a coherent conversation about crochet. But next week is my birthday. Next Friday, to be precise, the 12th of March is my birthday. And because of that, I am going to be releasing a special make that I have not shared with you guys at all. My newsletter subscribers received a little hint of what this project is all about. So if you are subscribed to my newsletter, you should have received that email. But after I sent it, I realized that I wrote the wrong release date for the Yavanna Vest. I'm releasing this vest this Friday because next Friday comes with a surprise and another blog post. So I didn't want to release 2 blog posts in the same day, if that makes sense. I didn't want to overwhelm you or me with all that bombardment of information. So yes, the Yavanna Vest is scheduled to be released this Friday, which is the 4th? Yes, it's the 4th of March. I can't believe it's March already, and I can't believe it's going to be my birthday so soon, but I am very excited to share with you this future make that I'm going to stop teasing you with, and just talk about the current make that I have to share with you. So I am wearing, as I said, the Yavanna crochet vest. This was a pattern that I released last year, November 2021. In collaboration with We Crochet as part of their IDP Independent Design Program, but I've saved it to release on my Ravelry page, on my Etsy page, and on my blog for March because I wanted to design a little something cool for my birthday. Last year, as you know, I designed the Eat Cake sweater, which many of you purchased and loved and made, which thrills me to no end because one of the visions of the Crochetcakes podcast and website is just to inspire you to wear and make crochet a part of your everyday. And it thrills me that you guys let me do that by purchasing my patterns and making my patterns. So the Yavanna Vest will be available to purchase via Ravelry and Etsy, but you may also find it for free on my blog. What's the difference between the purchase and free version? Well, when you access my blog, as I said, it's just free in exchange for all the ads that pop up. So the PDF version will be ad-free, but on top of that, it does include a video link only available to people that purchase the pattern. So if you purchase it via Ravelry or Etsy, you'll get the PDF, ad-free of course, but you also get that handy little link included with the pattern. All right. I'm gonna stop talking shop and just show you this beautiful thing. Now, as I show you this beautiful thing, what does it remind you of? Because see, the idea behind the Yavanna crochet vest, if you are a Lord of the Rings fan, or Hobbit fan, was Hobbit couture. Or Hobbit cottagecore, or Hobbit core, or whatever we want to call it. But it was basically inspired by the way Hobbit women dress. If you've paid attention to costumes in Lord of the Rings, like I have, because I am a sucker for just a gorgeous dress, you may remember that they tend to wear like a little corset type vest, ruffles, skirts and shirts, and they just look cute, okay? It's like cottagecore cute, Snow White cute, okay? Like, well, Snow White, when she's not in rags. Anyway, the point is that this vest was inspired by that, and it is actually crocheted in a lovely wool blend. It's very tweedy, as you can see, but it's also kind of rustic looking yet fancy at the same time. The tweed makes it seem very, oh, what's that word I'm looking for? Not homespun, but it gives it the structural, a dependable look. Yeah, I'm going with that word. It gives it a dependable look, but the color and the alpaca running through it just gives it that shine, and it's just very, very attractive yarn, I think. And it's a City Tweed DK. You can purchase it from We Crochet or from Knit Picks, whichever one of those websites you prefer. And the colorway is jacquard or jacquard. I'll include all the links in the description box below as per usual, and also in the description box below you will find chapters for this podcast, and you will find the link to the blog pattern for the Yavanna Vest. And in that blog pattern you can find links to Ravelry or Etsy, depending where you want to purchase your pattern from. So we've talked inspiration. And I know that having shared this previously on Instagram, a lot of you said it reminds you of Snow White, especially the way I shared these photos here. And I have to agree, it had not occurred to me at all how Snow White material this vest is, but I'm proud. I'm proud that I accidentally achieved that. So for today, I'm actually styling the vest with a shirt. I was gonna wear it alone as a crop top, but it got a little chilly this morning and I want it to be just a tiny bit warmer than a crop top. So I'm wearing it with just a long sleeve white shirt. Unfortunately, it's polyester blend, which, you know, hot when it's hot, cold when it's cold. But anyway. And then it's a collared white shirt. You guys know how much I love my collars. And so I'm wearing a double collar because under it I am wearing a black rhinestone collar that was a early birthday gift from my mom. Absolutely love it. I'm gonna stand up now and walk a little bit towards the camera so you can see, hopefully see, some of the details of this top. So you can see that the front panel has these straps. They're not really spaghetti, but they're about an inch wide strap. And then in the back, it comes up higher and it has a little bit of a V detailing in the back. So not only does it have those little details to make it more comfortable to wear, but I've finished the top all along the edges with crab stitch border, and that is to mimic the braiding that you sometimes will find in corseted garments. That it's so cute. I honestly, just these little details thrill me. I had thought about sewing some buttons, just decorative buttons down the front to mimic a waist or vest coat appearance. A waistcoat appearance. Yes, waistcoat is the correct word I'm looking for. So not only is the pattern super cute, I think, but you can also customize it to your liking if you do not, understandably, like crop top or short little vest like this. You can make it longer by adding more stitches, because the Yavanna crochet vest is crocheted sideways. Yeah, so our rows denote width, not length. All this is of course displayed in the pattern, and if you purchase the PDF, the video will talk to you a little bit more about how we're putting this together. So that is the Yavanna vest for you guys. It is made in DK weight wool, at least this version of it is. But if you check out mine and Mia's Crafts channel, you will see that she has made a version with, I believe it's cotton silk. So that is also fun. All the gauge and all such information, you will of course find it in the pattern in my website, or whether you choose to purchase it, all that information will be made available to you. So that is finally the Yavanna vest, because guys, I've been teasing about this vest for a long time, but it is finally making its appearance now in March, because for spring I think we can transition out of sweaters, which makes me a little sad. I love the coziness of a good sweater, but this Yavanna Vest also keeps you cozy with, you know, that little bit of warmth that you need without just being boiling hot by the end of the day. So there is that. And like I said, Caroline of Mind and Muse Crafts, Mom, has crocheted a version using cotton silk and holding it together with a lace thread. Which reminds me that I had started a second version of this. I'll be right back. Right, so this is the version I had started. This is I'm gonna say a sport weight yarn. This right here is from Made in America Yarns. Yeah, I believe that is the name of the company and spinning mill that makes this yarn, and it was a soy blend. I believe it's wool, cotton, soy, wool, linen, soy. I think it's wool, linen, soy blend. It's not quite a DK weight, but it's also not really a sport weight. It's weirdly in between. So I held it together with some lacy bits and bobs. This is, I believe it's some kind of, I don't know if it's mohair because I'm not finding it itchy. It was gifted to me by my neighbor, but it's just got these beautiful, blues and green colors, and just holding it together makes for such a beautiful marled effect that I fell in love with. But I never finished this. I think I made both panels and I just never picked up for my top portion or my straps. So I think I can finish this. Yeah, looking at it now, I kind of want to finish it, but I think that will be a next year project. So this was a second portion of the Yavanna Vest, and I just wanted to show you that if you do not have access to City Tweed DK, you can use a combination of yarns in your stash to achieve a similar thickness of yarn, because while the City Tweed is classified as a DK, at least this one that I'm using here, it is quite on the thick side because of the neps of yarn. So just remember, guys, that when you change yarn, you change your gauge, and it might be harder to achieve the gauge suggested in the pattern. So there are options is all I'm trying to say. Oh, and before we move on from the Yavanna Vest, I crocheted the second version, which is for a bust size of 32.5 inches. There is just the bust size to worry about because we're crocheting sideways in one piece with minimal shaping. All these things I think makes the Yavanna Crochet Vest such a great pattern. It also uses simple stitches. We're using linked double crochet stitches, single crochet, and as I mentioned, a crab stitch border. So if you guys are interested and you want to make it with me, then please go ahead and check out my website or purchase the pattern. I cannot wait to see what version of this you make. If you make it longer, if you make it shorter, maybe you just want like a bralette top and you want it really short, that would also be cool. Yeah, I want to see what you come up with, and please don't forget to share it on Instagram or Ravelry. It will be up there, and if you do not use Ravelry, it will be on Etsy. You can still leave a comment also on my blog if you choose. I've been thinking about disabling them because the amount of spam that one gets through the comment section is just obscene. It's obscene. Right, so that really is it for the Yavanna Vest. I'll leave all the links that you can purchase it from down below, and just thank you to We Crochet for choosing this pattern for their IDP all the way back in November, and thank you guys for just always supporting my makes and for wanting to make what I design, because as I said, my vision is to inspire you and make crochet a part of your everyday. What better way to do that than with garments? Now, I also have a cheeky little finished item that was unintentional intentional. It just really crept up on me. So this past weekend I was talking with mom. I had purchased some thrifted frames, and I also purchased some books that were art books about the Renaissance. So they had some beautiful paintings inside. I was just looking to see which of those paintings I would just cut up to put into these frames, and I couldn't decide on any. But while doing that, I had an idea. I had another frame, also thrifted, that had just been lying around in my husband's office for quite a while. And I also had some fabric and some doilies that had been a work in progress for quite a while as well. They were meant to be part of a doily wall hanging, so I was just gonna try to like paint a canvas and then attach all these doilies and do kind of a mixed media project. Well, I did that, just not the way I had originally intended. And here we are. I'll share some pictures of the progress or the making of this piece. Well, not pictures. I'll share some videos of the making of this piece with you so you can just craft along with me if you so choose. But I'll just walk you through this piece. So it is an 11 by 14 frame, I believe, and I had a piece of fabric, or I had fabric in my stash that I thought complemented the frame quite well. Actually, no, let's start from the very beginning. So I had this card. This card was sent to me by a friend for this Valentine's Day, and I kept it because I absolutely loved the print. And then I thought, what if I put this in the frame? But I don't have a frame that's small enough. How about we add things to it? So I went on my fabric stash, found a fabric that I thought complemented it quite well, and it's very vintage looking as well. The fabric is, I believe, stamps, very old stamps, and just writing in the back, cream background. And then, as I mentioned, there were these doilies. And I placed them strategically around the card, and then I decided to go for a quite well-known quote, "Palm to palm is Holy Palmer's kiss," from Romeo and Juliet. So I just included the Holy Palmer's kiss part, and I did that with my label maker. And I included it right where you see it because, well, it said Happy Valentine's Day, and I wanted to display this piece in my house somewhere year-round. So I covered the part that said Happy Valentine's Day. But yeah, that is my unintentional crochet art. The doilies, I think some of them were from Cheru Knitting. So this square one right here is from Cheru Knitting. This doily at the bottom I made imitating a cotton pot holder doily that I got from Patty's Crochet years ago. So I was looking at that and I worked out the pattern and did that. And then these two, the top one is from the vintage book, and then the one on the right is also from a vintage book. If you are interested in the vintage doily patterns, then let me know. I might transcribe them and put them up on my blog if that is something that interests you. So those are my actual two finished pieces that I was going to share with you today. So other things that I've been up to. As I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, I've been very scatterbrained. It's been very hard to concentrate on anything. And so while I keep working on my business, I've mainly been working on the crochet aspect of it. I've found the administrative aspect of it quite hard, and it's just, I guess I had a general lack of encouragement for it. So I went ahead and I made an investment. I invested in the Crochet Business Academy, signed up for their payment plan because I do need to raise the funds every month to pay for the course. And I'm slowly working through it to see what else I can do to make my business better for you and better for me. And since those are videos, I can just pause them when I'm no longer in the mind frame and then keep going when I am. So that's also very helpful. I've done the same with Skillshare, just looked up these classes on how to send newsletters, how to build newsletters and make them more of something your readers want to interact with. So I've done that as well. And I guess my saving grace has really been books. I signed up for a library card. I cannot believe I did not know the magic of library cards. Think of all the books I could have read these past 3 years if I had signed up for that. The first thing I did, kind of inspired by my Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady purchase, was to download or actually rent. Because through the library card, you get access to 50 physical books a month, but you also get access to 5 audiobooks and 10 ebooks. So I downloaded an ebook for some Beatrix Potter stories. Unfortunately, they came without the paintings, the drawings, that apparently make them really beautiful, because I did not find the stories that good. And it's not because they're children's stories. I've read children's books before. One of my favorite ones is The Borrowers, and another one whose name escapes me. Sorry, I had to get up and get the book because I knew the title was going to bother me, but it's this one, The Phantom Tollbooth by Norton Juster, illustrated by Jules Pfeiffer. So this is another children's book. I actually read this, I remember, when I was in 5th grade, and I didn't understand half of the things that the book said, or at least they didn't have the same meaning that they do now, but I actually really enjoy this. So yes, children's stories, that was not the problem with Beatrix Potter. I didn't really like the writing. Sorry. So while I didn't really enjoy much of the Beatrix Potter writing, I did find other things to enjoy ebook-wise. I downloaded or borrowed Pride, Prejudice, and Other Flavors. And as the name suggests, this is a Pride and Prejudice inspired story. It is not a retelling, it is not a what-if scenario, and it's just a beautiful story. I really enjoyed it, and I'll read to you the excerpt from Goodreads. Award-winning author Sonali Dev launches a new series about the Rajas, an immigrant Indian family descended from royalty who have built their lives in San Francisco. It is a truth universally acknowledged that only in an overachieving Indian American family can genius daughter be considered a black sheep. Dr. Trisha Raj is San Francisco's most acclaimed neurosurgeon, but that's not enough for the Rajas, her influential immigrant family who's achieved power by making its own non-negotiable rules. Never trust an outsider, never do anything to jeopardize your brother's political aspirations, and never, ever defy your family. Trisha is guilty of breaking all 3 rules, but now she has a chance to redeem herself, so long as she doesn't repeat old mistakes. Up-and-coming Chef DJ Kane has known people like Trisha before, people who judge him by his rough beginnings and place pedigree above character. He needs the lucrative job the Rajas offer, but he values his pride too much to indulge Trisha's arrogance. And then he discovers that she's the only surgeon who can save his sister's life. So yeah, it keeps going, but basically it's a wonderful read that touches on the topics it mentions of immigrant families, but also the different experiences you can have as an immigrant. So the Rajas, being who they were, had a much more privileged upbringing than for example, DJ Kane's. So yeah, it touches on family, it touches on love, of course, and it also touches on the different experiences immigrant families can have in the United States or in England, because DJ Kane is a British citizen. So I just thought I would share that with you because I really enjoyed it. And if you have a library card, you can download that ebook via the Libby app. By the way, I don't know if you do have a library card. If you knew that, it's Libby. Libby. So that's basically all I've been up to, just trying to control my scattered brainedness, which, is not possible, as you can probably tell through this podcast. But through it all, I just wanted to spend a little bit of crafty time with you and, I don't know, make your day a little brighter, I hope. So just spread some love and happy crafting, guys. Bye! Oh, and I will see you next week for a birthday special release, so please keep an eye out. And if you would like to do so, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and subscribe to my newsletter so you can keep up to date with all new upcoming craftiness and patterns. Bye! And I'm out of space. I don't have any more space for books. I'm using them as coffee tables, as decoration. They're in any single cupboard that you open. So yeah, these book hoarding tendencies are a thing.